Hey there book friends, I'm Addie and you are now watching Books and Tea Time, and today's video is my blackathon reading vlog part 2 because I talk too much and I haven't finished my TBR yet. So today is February 22nd. Blackathon ends on February 28th at the end of the month, right? And I have only completed 2 books of the 4 that I have to read for the science fiction fantasy team. So this video is going to help motivate me to finish those books, and also it's going to be my chance to finish the challenges that I didn't end up completing when I was supposed to during the challenge week in the first vlog because I am a chaotic mess. So what am I reading? Well, I am a third of the way through the group book, which is Escaping Exodus by Nikki Drayden. I started this in the first video, so I do have my preliminary thoughts there, but I'll obviously update you guys and give you my thoughts as I'm finishing this book. I really do think that I can finish this quickly. It's a very, very good read so far, and I only have about 200 pages left in order to complete it. And then also in the last video, I started Son of the Storm by Sunyi Davies Okunbawa, but I only read 16 pages. I'm going to optimistically say I'm gonna finish this by February 28th. So that I can count all the pages for my team. So I'm reading this physically and annotating it because it is my copy, and so we are going to read as much of this as we can. This is a high fantasy, adult fantasy, and it's good so far, but I've only read 16 pages, so I have basically no idea what's going on. Also, I don't plan on finishing this book in this video, but I want to start this book. It is a nonfiction book, and it is Read This to Get Smarter About Race, Class, Gender, Disability, and More by Blair Imani. I follow Blair on Instagram. She makes these really awesome short reels on Instagram called Smarter in Seconds, where she deep dives into one specific topic and gives you a very brief rundown and collaborates with other people who are knowledgeable about that specific topic, and then gives you other places where you can go and continue your research. And then she also wrote a book, so I'm very excited to read this. It's rather short, so I do think that I can get at least a good chunk of it done, but I really wanted to read some nonfiction, and I really wanted to support Blair by reading this book, and I'm glad that I got my hands on a copy that I can annotate. As far as challenges go, I need to watch a film directed by a Black director. I also have to recreate a book cover by a Black author from memory, so we're gonna do that, and I feel like I'm forgetting one other one that we have to do. Oh, I have to listen to spoken word poems. I think there's 3 spoken word poems, so I'm gonna listen to those and then tell you guys which one was my favorite, blah blah blah, things like that. And then also an added challenge that I'm gonna do, because I did this last year and I wanted to carry over and do it again, was last year I bought 3 art prints from Black artists that I had followed and was shouting out as part of a challenge for last year's video. So I want to do something similar this year and find some Black owned bookish merchandise, bookish items, businesses, and order some of those. So we're gonna do that together. I have a couple businesses in mind, but I'm gonna wait, and yeah, that's that. We're gonna do the challenges, we're gonna finish our TBR, and we're gonna do it before the end of February. I am going to try and read a little bit of Escaping Exodus tonight, so I'll update you guys when I have some things to say, when I have read more of this book. I am about to start part 2, Expansion. Talk to you soon. Hello. Okay, it's not that long after I just updated you guys with the intro, but I got a package. So let's do a mini unboxing. I'm going to be unboxing my February Sips By box. This is actually really perfect for this video because Jessie of Bowties and Books, who is the host and creator of Blackathon, is the person who got me interested in Sips By. So this is a tea subscription box, and every month they send you 4 servings of 4 different kinds of tea. Not sponsored, but as I say in every video where I talk about Sips By, I'm ready. Whenever you are, I am ready. I have my really cute little baby knife situation. Yeah, and we're going to open this bad boy up. Let's see what we have. Okay, So every month you get this little card that says the month and the teas, and then is personalized, has your name on it. And this is the information. I'm not going to look at it yet because it's a spoiler, but it tells you the brand and how to steep things, etc, etc. Oh, I'm already interested in the things that I got. Okay, so also every month you get one of these like cloth bags for loose tea, and you also get these little individual one-time use things for loose tea as well. You always get stuff like that. And then let's dive into the tea. All right, first things first that I'm seeing in here on the top is from the brand Stash. I love Stash. They make some of my favorite teas ever. And I've never tried this one before. This is chocolate mint oolong tea. What? Oh, this will be so good with some biscotti. Okay, I'm very, very excited to try this. This is what it looks like. It is a little thing, and as I said, we get 4 servings, so yeah, that's what it looks like. I love the color scheme, the green and the brown, very nice. Oolong tea, peppermint, natural chocolate flavor, cocoa powder, and carob powder. Oh my goodness, this is another brand I love. I've tried another tea from this brand. Oh my god, this sounds incredible. Okay, the brand is Tea Goblin. I love how cute their packaging is. Isn't that the cutest thing ever? Like, what? Look at the little guy on there. Oh, I love it. So the brand is the Tea Goblin. I've tried their sanguine strawberry before, I think. This one is called the Piquant Peach. And listen to the ingredients on here, okay? Organic apple, organic rose hip, organic white hibiscus, organic sweet blackberry leaves, organic roasted chicory root, natural flavoring, organic peach, organic marigold. This sounds absolutely divine. You get 4 servings in here, but it's a loose tea, so it comes in like this big thing together. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, next we have Strawberry Sensation from Ahmad Tea. This is a black tea. Capture the feeling of strawberry fields in summer. A refreshing and sweet strawberry flavored blended magnificently with the finest black tea. And this is what it looks like. I'm definitely going to be taking these to work with me to be drinking. I always make a cup of tea after lunch, so I'm definitely going to be taking these to work with me for my after lunch tea break. These sound amazing. Okay, and the last one that we got this month is in this very strange clear package. Okay, the brand is Made of Tea, I think. And this is an organic by Moudon white tea. Okay, I'm down with it. I don't know that I've ever had white tea. If I'm being completely transparent, I did not know white tea existed. That's the information. Let's read off really quickly. So the Strawberry Sensation is high caffeine. The organic white tea is low caffeine. Piquant Peach is caffeine free. And the Stash Chocolate and Mint is medium caffeine. Love it. Okay, we're definitely gonna be trying that peach one from Tea Goblin tonight. Love you. Talk to you soon. Hi there, everybody, my lovely, wonderful book friends. We're gonna take a pause real quick on the content of this video, and then we'll get back because I have some reading updates. But first, I really wanted to take a moment and talk with you guys. But I wanted to just take a moment and use like my channel, my platform, this vlog, and take a minute to talk specifically about like anti-trans legislation. First and foremost, I am gonna have some links in the description box just to do like the simple stuff like signing petitions, sharing this information, holding politicians accountable. I want to preface this also by saying that like I'm not an authority on this, and I am not as knowledgeable about like the process of politics as I would like to be, as far as like, you know, bills and introducing them and what it takes to get them passed. But the fact that they're even, you know, on their way is a problem. So I believe it's the governor of Florida, Greg Abbott is his name, is trying to pass legislation that would criminalize gender affirming surgeries and practices, and also criminalize the discussion of gender identity and sexual orientation in primary schools specifically, I believe, but in any school setting, in any setting like that where you're forbidding a child from talking about themselves and taking language away that is used by queer children and trans children everywhere to describe themselves is hateful, harmful, and child abuse. But some politicians, specifically this Greg Abbott, is trying to switch the narrative and say that surgeries or any sort of like gender affirming treatments is the child abuse. So it's very like twisted and manipulative and terrible. So I have a link to a petition that I found, and also I'm going to link one of the creators who I have learned the most about this from over the past few days, and that is Skylar Baylor. He is an Instagram advocate, a former college D1 professional swimmer. He was the first transgender swimmer to participate in a D1 sport, the first transgender athlete to participate in a D1 sport while openly trans. And I have learned so much by reading his infographics that he has on Instagram. So much research, so much thought goes into it, and there is a really wonderful post. He goes through all of the common misconceptions or the common assumptions that people use as arguments against gender-affirming surgeries, like children are too young to make this decision, and what if they regret it, etc., and uses statistics and science and breaks down those assumptions, and also gives you language and gives you data and facts and information to combat that, so that like when you encounter these kinds of people or people who have these beliefs in your daily life, you can work with them, and maybe if you feel that it is safe for you, specifically have that discussion. There's also another one that I found also through Skylar, but also through Blair Imani, who I'm actually going to talk about in a few minutes because I started her book. But she's another educator, historian, and advocate on Instagram that I follow, and she has a link, which I will type it out down below. But basically, if you type this link into your Safari, it will take you to an email that is already pre-written. All you have to do is read the email and insert your name and one sentence about yourself to like explain why you are reaching out. And this is to help discourage the NCAA from passing a new form of rule that would exclude trans athletes, specifically Leah, oh my god, what is her last name? Leah Thompson? The NCAA is trying to introduce some rules or legislation mid-season which would exclude trans athletes specifically. Please take like not even 5 minutes today to sign both of those, to send that email and sign that petition, and let's like show up and do the work together, because that's what like this is actually about. Now we're gonna take a small pivot and talk about my reading updates. And I say a small pivot because I actually started this yesterday because like I was in the mood to learn and to do something that I felt like was productive in like specifically in that vein, like, you know, learning new things and equipping myself with language and fact. And so I started this. I am on chapter 2. I'm not quite done with chapter 2 yet. I am 50 pages in, and as you can see, I've already been tabbing and highlighting a lot. I have already learned so much. I love Blair's approach to writing. I mean, as an educator, I feel like she is just so skilled at writing it and breaking it down in a concise and effective manner and giving us the language. There are reflection questions at the end of each chapter, and I'm really loving it so far, and I'm feeling very excited and grateful that Blair wrote this book and that I have my hands on a physical copy that I own and that I can annotate. So definitely check this book out. I just hit myself in the face. Also, last night I read more of Escaping Exodus, and listen guys, I'm gonna try my darndest to finish this book today. I have like 150 pages left, so we'll see how that goes. So I finished part 2 last night. I am now on part 3, Extinction, and holy flippin' crap, I feel like every part ends with like this like big boom cliffhanger reveal plot twist situation, and like it's so crazy. Like the politics are really taking like a new turn, and like Seska is having to confront a lot of the realities, because like, I mean, she's coming into womanhood, right? And so Seska, not only as the heir, but as a new woman, a new young woman, is having to make this transition from adolescence to womanhood, and she's starting to realize a lot of the things that she hadn't known about, like what it costs to live on this ship and the things that are happening, and you know, like really kind of messed up stuff that has to happen in order for their society to function and to exist and to live. Like, they live inside of these animals, these beasts. Are they sentient? And like, what are they doing to them? And then like within their own society, like the lower classes, and how they are like abused and manipulated in order, like there's just some really like messed up stuff that happens at the end of part 2. Like, I don't want to say too much because I really don't want to spoil it, because like this book takes so many turns, and it's just like, I don't know if I mentioned this in my first video, but in this society, it's like every family has one child, and it's kind of limited to that because of like population control and the fact that like they can only have so many people. So in the society, sister is like a swear word or like a curse, because no one should ever have a sister, because they should never have multiple people. And this society is a matriarchy of sorts. It's very interesting how all the families are organized. It's like you have multiple mothers, multiple fathers, and like a group family, and like every family must be made up, I think, of at least 2 women and 1 man. It's a little confusing, honestly. Like, I'm still kind of grasping a lot of like the cultural and specifically like the family structures and like what's typical, and like how that differs between like the caste systems and stuff. But Seska actually does have a sister, which is like very, very rare, because Seska was premature and they thought that she was gonna die. So she, because she came early and survived, is the heir to the throne, but she has a sister who was born on time, like a few months later, I think. And because she, I believe, is the clan matriarch's biological daughter, like I believe that she actually gave birth to her, and so she let her live because she's like the clan matriarch, so she can do that. And so there's a lot of tension between Seska, and her name is Sisterkin, so she doesn't even really have a given name. I don't know, I'm just like, I'm stressed because I feel like I love Seska and I want her to be the matriarch, but I feel like Sisterkin is too sneaky, and like I think she's just got one up on Seska because she's been working her whole life to get one over on her, and like now I'm worried. I don't know. Also Adala, I love reading from her perspective and kind of seeing her trying to grapple with like a similar thing where she's coming into womanhood and adulthood, and like having to grapple with the fact that, you know, she loves Seska, but she knows that she can't be with Seska without really a risk to her life, because like the most Seska will probably get is like a slap on the hands, but like if she is trying to be with Seska, she'll get like a pretty severe punishment. Time is dwindling. I'm starting to worry that I'm not gonna finish Son of the Storm in time, but I mean, at the very end of blackathon, you're supposed to submit your pages to this thing, so I feel like as long as I get a good chunk of it read and I can submit those pages, like I don't think you have to finish a book to count the pages. I think you just count as many pages as you've read in your genre, or at least I hope that's the case. Also today we are going to do some of the challenges, but I'm going to take a minute to read. I'm going to FaceTime my best friend later, and then we will maybe do some challenges tonight. Talk to you soon. Mwah. friends. I know I look a little bit crazy right now. I'm doing a face mask. My skin is going through it right now. I don't know what's going on, but I needed some TLC for my face. So you're gonna have to look at me like this, but it's okay because I'm about to bring up my computer screen and then I'll be just a little tiny box. I have some updates. I've done more challenges and I have been doing more reading. I'm gonna try my darndest to finish Escaping Exodus tonight. That's my goal. If not, hopefully I'll be able to finish it out on my lunch break tomorrow. But as far as challenges go, as you saw in the B-roll, I did the recreate or draw a black book cover from memory challenge, and I randomized a list of 5 that I had already pre-selected, and I got Get a Life Chloe Brown, and I think I did pretty good. It was not terrible. I'm obviously not an artist because it was very cartoony, but it was fun. And then I also just listened to the 3 spoken word poems that were listed, and they were all amazing. I'm gonna have all 3 of the links listed down below. Their YouTube videos. It literally took me less than 15 minutes to watch all 3 of them. They are not very long and they are so good. So even if you haven't been participating in blackathon or you haven't been doing the challenges, please just do it. You will not regret it. They were all so good. I think my favorite was the first one that I listened to, which was To the Girl at Starbucks, I think was the title. It literally made me feel butterflies in my stomach and my chest. It was so beautiful. The other 2 were really amazing too. The second one is sort of a story of queer youth and, you know, coming into that queerness and an ode to queerness and queer youth. And the third one was from 2 kids who are performing at this huge thing. They're on a stage, there's a microphone. It's I think it was a youth poetry slam. And they're talking about their experiences growing up as Muslim teens in America and them and their families and all of the prejudice and stereotypes that are just constantly battered against them. Just the courage that it takes to stand up on a stage like that when you're that age. I would never have been able to do that, and the message and the passion that they put into it is so beautiful. So definitely go check those out. I'll have them linked in the description box. Love that so much. So now we're done with all of the challenges except for the film. I wanted to do my personal challenge for myself with you guys right now, which I kind of previously had mentioned, and that was that I wanted to buy some bookish merchandise from Black owned businesses, and I found one on Etsy with bookmarks because I really wanted to get some bookmarks. So we're gonna look at that, and then I have another one too that I want to do. So I am going to quickly share my screen with you all. Okay, so now I should be recording my screen. You can see my little mouse here, and this is the Black owned business, the Black owned bookish business that I found just while scrolling through Etsy. And I had been looking for a while, so it kind of was coming up in my suggested with a lot of bookish businesses, and I was looking under the tab for they do have Black owned businesses in different categories for Black History Month. I hope that stays as a thing that you can search all year long and not just in February, but if not, I wanted to shout out at least this one business. So this is K-Lig, I think is how you say it, images to inspire women of color. So I'm just gonna scroll through so you guys can see a little bit. There's definitely a lot of bookmarks, a lot of variety. There's also stickers. I think some of them are pins. This one's a keychain, some cards, notebooks. There's a lot of different materials here, and they're not all bookish necessarily. You've got greeting cards, all these things that you can click on the side. So I specifically am in the market for some bookmarks, so I highlighted and hearted a couple of them. I think the ones that I am going to get, I really want this Toni Morrison one because Toni Morrison is one of my personal favorite authors of all time. It has a Toni Morrison quote. It says, "Definitions belong to the definers, not to the defined." So I'm definitely going to get myself this one. And then, where was the other one that I really liked? I have so many that I really wanted to get, but I think I also really love this Maya Angelou one, and I like Amplify Black Stories, which is this one. I think that one is so pretty. Oh, look, this one is taken outside. Oh, that's so beautiful. I love that. Sorry, I'm getting this ASL sticker for one of my friends at work for her birthday, so I'm just gonna ignore that pop-up for now, but that's what that is, in case you were wondering. But then I also really love this one, which is Empowered Women, Empowered Women. So I might get all three, or I'm definitely gonna get the Toni Morrison one and one of the other ones. I don't know, we'll see. They're not terribly expensive, so I think that it would be cool to get all three of them and to support a Black creator, a Black artist during Black History Month, but also supporting Black businesses all year round, super important. So if you're interested in buying bookish merchandise, if you need bookmarks, if you're in the market for bookmarks, definitely check out this page next time you're thinking of buying a bookmark. Then also, this is not a Black owned business, but as per my last update when I was talking to you guys about the anti-trans legislation and what we can do to help trans kids, specifically in Florida and Texas, but just trans youth in general that are being targeted around the world and specifically in the United States, I found this creator. Meg is their name. Let me see if I can pull up the actual page. Is there a page? Is there like a aha. Okay, this was actually the page that I was looking for. So this is Meg from Meg Amico Art. Hope I'm saying that right. But I found this creator, I found them on I found them on Instagram just as I was seeing like a bunch of people sharing trans creators and resources, petitions to sign, things to share, books, etc, etc. I found this creator and I really loved the reel that they did, and I also saw that they had merchandise. And one of the amazing features of this is that this artist in particular donates a portion of their proceeds for each different category to different organizations. In each of these, you can see there's like in parentheses, a portion of the proceeds for each of these goes to a different organization, which I think is so phenomenal, because not only is your cash supporting an artist and supporting a trans artist specifically, but then a portion of your cash is also going to organizations. So I want to get the Protect Trans Kids sticker to put on my work notebook, just to have around at work, and you know, maybe it sparks conversation with a coworker, maybe it sparks conversation with a patron, and also just like having the sticker. It's obviously amazing, love it. And 80% of the proceeds, sorry, I'm talking too fast, 80% of the proceeds for this one are going to be donated to Trans Justice Funding Project. So let's pull that up. The Trans Justice Funding Project website is a community-led initiative founded in 2012, and it supports trans justice groups run by and for trans people in the United States specifically. So if you are wanting to look in more detail, here's their website. But I'm gonna get the sticker, and then I also, again for work, want to get the mug. So I think I'm gonna do that, and then I'll have a portion of my cash going to this organization and also to Meg. I'm gonna make these purchases tonight. I'm gonna finish Escaping Exodus, and that'll be the rest of my evening. So I just wanted to update you guys and chat with you for a little bit. I just wanted to take a quick minute to also speak about the fact that I am aware of the more global issue of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So I am definitely aware of that. I'm aware of the global situation and the need to help and assist Ukraine. So I am going to have some resources that I've come across in the description box for that as well. I just wanted to kind of express that I feel very ignorant and uneducated about international politics specifically, and something on this global scale. So I didn't want to speak on it in case I would spread misinformation, and I really didn't want to do that. And, you know, obviously I don't want to talk about something that I'm not super knowledgeable about, but I also didn't want to ignore it because obviously it is a huge deal. So I would just encourage you to find credible sources. That's what I'm going to try and do over the next week or so, is, you know, take the time, a couple nights maybe, to research it and find sources that are credible and trustworthy to get a little more background on the situation. It's very scary. It's definitely triggered a lot of my personal anxiety, so I'm trying to simultaneously, you know, take care of myself so that I can show up for other people, and also doing the work and showing up, and I think that's like the balance, you know. I'm gonna go take off this face mask and do some reading. I love you all. I hope you are doing good. Good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Peace. Hi there, friends. It is so many days later, literally so many days. I have been procrastinating filming the outro clip to this video so long. It is now March 13th or something like that. Like, literally the challenges are beyond over, and I've been procrastinating filming this because I really wanted to wait until I had seen the film Little Woods that I said that I was gonna watch. I wanted to wait until I saw that to film this outro clip so that I could tell you what I thought of it, but I still haven't watched it because I suck. Essentially, I'm in the middle of like 4 books right now, and every single time I get downtime or like free time, I'm always spending it reading, and I'm like in a really like good reading mood. So I didn't want to like break that by forcing myself to watch something. Like, I haven't been watching like any TV or movies. Yeah, I am going to watch it for sure in the future. I think what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to borrow a copy from the library of like the physical DVD and watch it on my next day off, on like one of the days that I have off over the next like week or so, whenever like I'm feeling it. But for right now, I'm in the middle of reading a book that is very, very long for a reading vlog, and I'm finally in the mood to like sit down and tackle a 1,200 page book, so I'm not gonna deter my progress, essentially. Other updates, other news. Oh, I got my bookmarks in the mail, so I'm gonna show them to you guys really quick. This is the Toni Morrison one. Isn't she an absolute babe? I love it so much. Oh my god. And then I got this one as well. I was so happy when they came in the mail. I also got my mug and my sticker, but as I said, I took them both to work with me, so they're both at work right now, so I can't show them to you. I did not finish Son of the Storm. In fact, I made 0 progress, but I had an Audible credit that my dad gifted me, so I do have the audiobook for Son of the Storm now, and I find that like I do really well with listening and reading books physically at the same time right now. It's just really helping me. It's helping me consume books a lot faster and like at a pace where like it's able to hold my attention. So I really like the audio physical reading combo right now. So I got the audiobook for Son of the Storm. So definitely March, April, I'm looking at finishing that book as soon as I finish the current fantasy that I'm reading. Let's talk about Escaping Exodus for a minute. Like, I finished it. It was incredible. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I'm so mad I had to return my copy to the library. I really want to get a physical copy, and I want to get a physical copy of the sequel so that I can like read them and annotate them and just like have them in my collection, because like it is literally one of my favorite sci-fi books. Like, I'm looking at my sci-fi shelf because, like, to be fair, I haven't read a lot of science fiction books, but like this and Binti and An Unkindness of Ghosts are like my top sci-fi books that I've read. But like, again, I'm newer to the science fiction part of the science fiction fantasy genre because I typically read a lot of fantasy, a lot of high fantasy, but I'm very intimidated by science fiction. So this book is just like an absolute blessing because it was like, the book is so fast paced, and to me that is really good because I feel like sometimes I get like overwhelmed, bored almost with science fiction books that are so slow and really like jargon heavy and science heavy, because I don't really know a lot of that, you know, and I can't really like envision a lot of that. And like, I know a lot of people really like that, but for me it's kind of like an intimidating, like off-putting quality. I really appreciated that this book was fast-paced, because while it was fast-paced, it was not like boring by any means. There is so much going on. The politics is so like twisted and messed up. There's so much political intrigue, and the plot itself has so many moving parts that are so cool. The premise of this civilization of people who used to live on Earth thousands and thousands of years ago, and then their ships started breaking down, and now they live inside of these giant spacefaring creatures. There's the plot line of like Seska and Nadala and their love, and how it's like a forbidden Romeo and Juliet situation. And then you've got the plot line of them individually like on the cusp of new adulthood, and how they both deal with that and what that means in their respective lives, and like how they kind of branch off in the narrative and like live life on different sides of the world inside of these beings. And then there's like the plot line with the being itself and questioning, like, is it sentient, and like, is what we're doing, I mean, it's obviously immoral, but like, can we even do anything about it? Because like, where else do we go? What do we do? It's just like so messed up, but like in like a way that you just like, you can't stop reading because you're like, this is all so crazy, and like you're along for the ride with Adala and Seska because they want to change the world and they want to better their society, but they're coming up along and like coming across all of these like issues that have been like festering for centuries. I will say that the last third of this book is so fast-paced. Like, the book itself is fast-paced, but like so much action and stuff is crammed into the last third of the book that I think it might bother some people. Like, personally, for me, I would have loved if the book was a little longer. So even though I'm giving it a 5-star, I'm not saying that it is without flaws or without fault in terms of pacing and how much happens in the last book. Like, I feel like if this book was like 100 pages longer, it would be perfect. Honestly, I kind of like it, and I kind of see the positive side, or I see like the potential, and I see why the author chose to do it that way, because it just, I feel like it reflects a lot of the like the whole theme of the book of like this like lack of control, and like feeling and like acknowledging that and looking it in the face and realizing that this society has like raised Adala and Seska to believe that everything is under control when it's really falling apart and things are going horribly wrong, and the humans have like almost no control over what happens to them, but like they have a certain degree of control, and like kind of trying to grasp that, but at the same time just like living in a world and in a reality where like bad things just keep happening and like chaos of it. It's so good. I loved it so much. So 5 out of 5 stars, new science fiction favorite. I loved it so much. It was such a wonderful reading experience. I highly recommend it, especially if you're like me and you really like fantasy but you're a little worried about sci-fi. I think that you would really like this. I'm definitely gonna read the sequel, which is called Symbiosis, I think. Escaping Exodus Symbiosis. I also put Nikki Drayden's debut onto my reading list. I think it's called The Prey of Gods, or The Prey of the Gods, something like that, but it also sounds crazy and it also sounds so good. So I definitely love the imagination of Drayden and where she's able to go with stuff, and I love her writing, so I'm definitely going to make an effort throughout the rest of the year to get to those books. So one last note, don't forget to check the description box on your way out and read some of those resources. I'm going to have a link to a Google Doc actually that my coworkers and I like collaborated on to have available for our patrons, because we work I work at a library, if you didn't know that. So a couple of my coworkers and I, we collaborated and put together a Google Doc of resources and organizations, petitions to sign, creators, authors, things like that, that are fighting against anti-trans legislation and working to protect trans youth and trans people in general all across the United States. So definitely check that out. I also have, it's probably not going to be in the description box for like a day or two after I post this, so come back and check it, because I have to get the QR code at work tomorrow. I have to take a picture of it because I just realized that I don't have a picture of it myself right now, but one of my coworkers who is very knowledgeable about international relations, she was a history major and I believe she's getting a master's in history right now. She knows a lot more about the events in Ukraine right now and what's going on and like how you can help and how you can educate yourself. So I'm going to read the Google Doc that she put together personally, and I'm also going to have it linked in the description box if anybody else is interested in that. A lot of really awesome helpful resources are going to be in those things in the description box. I'll have both of the Etsy links to the 2 creators that I bought from linked in the description box. I'm gonna have those spoken word poems linked. Yeah, so just take some time out of your day to check out all that stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for stopping by my channel. It means the world to me. I love you all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if that's your jam, and I hope to see you in my next video. Happy reading, happy writing, and happy living. Peace out.